You're listening to Tutor Time with Mallory, and now for your host, Mallory Latouche.
And welcome back to Tutor Time with Mallory. Today I have the honor of interviewing Dr. Smith. How are you today, Doctor?
I am doing well. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. What is your education background?
Okay, so I am a graduate of Winston-Salem State University. First of all, I'm a graduate of Goldsboro High School, and then I'm a graduate of Winston-Salem State University. I received my Bachelor of Arts degree in History Education. I have a Master of School Administration degree from East Carolina University, and I have a doctorate in Educational Leadership from North Carolina State University.
What inspired you to want to work in the school system?
So my mother was a teacher. My aunts are teachers. My father was in education, but I grew up basically teaching baby dolls. And that was my start. And so I taught baby dolls. I taught my cousins. I taught my mother's friends that would come over on a Sunday afternoon. I taught anybody that I could teach. And then when I went to high school, at Goldsboro High School, they had a program or a club called Future Teachers of America, where we had an opportunity to go into the middle school and work with middle school and elementary school students in our feeder pattern. And I just really enjoy working with children. I worked with children at my church, and it became a passion for me. So I decided that teaching was my niche, and that was my thing that I really wanted to do. So that's what inspired me to become an educator.
How has your career led you to where you are now?
I started out as a teacher first. And as a teacher, I enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed working with my students. I enjoyed the influence that I had on students. And I wanted to continue to build with that influence. So from teaching, I became a literacy coach, where I worked specifically with teachers in literacy and working with teachers to make sure that they understood how literacy impacts education and how they can support students in the areas of literacy, and then also across the content areas. From there, I became a beginning teacher mentor. We called it a teaching and learning coach at the time. And I was able to help beginning teachers new in their career in education. And that was very rewarding. And that was one of my favorite positions because I had so much impact on a larger amount of students. So that led to me being a principal, because I wanted to make sure that things were done well for students, and I wanted to work with teachers and work with parents and work with students on a larger scale. So that brought me to being a principal. So I guess the basic answer is I wanted to have a huge impact on a huge amount of students.
What are your fondest memories working at Brogdon Middle School?
My fondest memories, I have several, but one that I would like to highlight most recently, I have a 5th grade student, and we always do student orientation meetings at the beginning of the year. And this year, I was giving my orientation meeting to the 5th graders, and they are the youngest kids in our school. They're the babies in our school. And I was talking about the importance of doing what is right and doing your homework and goal setting. And one of my 5th grade students, I said something to the effect of, we have a Rams Creed here, and it says, I pledge to myself that I will be the best student that I can be. I will demonstrate respect for myself and others because that is what is required of me. I will maintain a positive attitude and try my hardest today, making wise decisions and demonstrating self-responsibility in every way. Today will be the best day ever. I will be my best without a doubt. I am proud to be a Ram at Brogdon Middle School, where everyone matters and every moment counts. And as I was saying that, he said, yes. And I said, oh my gosh, I love his energy. I'm so excited to have him in our school. So after school, he said, he came up to me, and that particular day was his birthday. So I said, happy birthday. And he said, I love school. And I said, yes. I said, so every time I see you, I want you to do a little hard. I said, I'll do a little hard. You do a lot of hard because you love school. And I want you to keep that love for school for the next couple of years until you graduate from high school and then beyond. So every time I see him, he does his little heart. His heart actually goes like this. Mine goes like this because I want him to keep that love for school. And I want all of my students to have a love for school. Another thing on that same regard, about 2 years ago when we had sports, it was time, the game was over and it was time for the kids to go home. And there were some kids here later than they should have been. And I said, where is your ride? Aren't you ready to go home? And they said, no, we love it here. Those are the things that I live for. Those are the things that makes my heart smile and makes me smile.
What is something about your career path that you didn't know before?
Oh goodness. There's a lot that I didn't know before. I think if I were to ever go back in the classroom now, I will be a whole lot better teacher than I was when I was in the classroom. I have learned so much about literacy, about differentiation, about working with students. I have seen awesome teachers since I have been out of the classroom. I'm constantly learning. We always talk about being a lifelong learner. Being in education, you are constantly lifelong learners. This morning, I was reading an article about the Leandro case and making sure that education is equal and fair for all students. So there are so many things. Every day I'm learning from students, I'm learning from teachers, I'm learning from my colleagues. So they're constantly learning. So I can't pinpoint one exact thing because we're still evolving as an educator.
What are the 3 most important skills when it comes to working in the school system?
I think there's 3 most important skills. One of our former superintendents, Dr. Taylor, would always say, one, common sense. And being an educator, being an administrator, common sense is the main thing that you have to govern with, but also fairness and patience. Just making sure that we're doing what's in the best interest of students at all times, even if the adults are inconvenienced. We always work to do what's in the best interest of students and being fair, and just and what's good for one person may not be good for another, or what works for one person may not work for another. So, and then being patient, taking time to watch things evolve and continue to grow, including our students, including our teachers, including ourselves. Sometimes we're constantly evolving as well. So just being patient with the process.
What advice would you give the viewers that want to either work or volunteer in the school system?
Come on, we would love to have you. This is a great time to come in. There are positions open. We need bus drivers, we need substitute teachers, we need certified teachers, we need paraprofessionals, support staff. It is a great time to come in. This is a great and fulfilling career. it is a great and fulfilling area to volunteer. But when you come in, make sure that you have a heart for children, make sure that you love children, and that you will always do what's best for children. The pandemic has caused so many different things, but at this time, it's important to come in and be patient and to do what you can and do the best that you can and be the best person that you can be every day for every single child that you encounter.
Thank you so much, Dr. Smith. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Tutor Time with Mallory. You can find her on the following social media platforms and contact her for interviews.